Namaste. 5, the 5th one. Ready for it? Should I be watching this video? Or maybe I need to attend to my phone. 1 minute. What was that email that had come in? Should I check on that? Or, oh no, I had to do some shopping. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Life is all about decisions. And the outcome of those decisions decide where you are going to be, how your day is going to move, how your life is going to unroll before you. Friends, decision making is the 5th life skill recommended by the World Health Organization. If any of you are the youngest in the family, or if any of you are not used to taking decisions and allow others to do so, somewhere this skill, this important skill in you is left blunt. What can you do with a blunt pencil? Similarly, what can you do with a blunt decision maker? Every minute, every second, we need to take decisions. Today, I needed to take a decision on doing this session in front of the camera. A little earlier, I had to take a decision whether to do a particular work or no. As the day unrolls, I know well, very well, that there are going to be hundreds of other decisions that need to be taken. Am I strong enough to take them? Because what's important is what happens after the decision is taken. As I told you in the emotional intelligence video, one of our greatest challenges is facing our fears. The fears of our consequences are constantly ruling us. Many a times I don't take a decision in time, and that can mark the end or the problems of decision making. Remember one thing, a good decision maker can be a great asset no matter where he is. But it's a skill. So what do you mean by a skill? The more I do it, the better I get at it. So can I start honing my decision making skill even from today? Yes, of course I can. Want to know how I can do it? Well, let's begin. I hope to give you a little brief introduction to decision making through this small video that we have made just for you. Well, friends, what does a decision mean? A decision means that I need to take a call to anything that has to be done, so I decide either the answer to it is yes or the answer to it is no. Either I say yes or I say no. 2 short, small words, but what does it mean? They can decide my future. Remember, there are easy decisions and there are difficult decisions. What would the difficult decisions be? Our Prime Minister takes hundreds of them through the day perhaps. What would a difficult decision be to any ordinary person? It could be, do I accept this customer? Do I give this loan? Do I take up this particular work? Am I able to fulfill this promise? Do I take that decision? It could be a huge, difficult decision. What would be the easy ones? Today in the hotel, shall I have a masala dosa or shall I go in for a pani puri? Something as easy as that. But I'm sorry to say, there are so many of us who are afraid to take that easy decision. So now, introspect, become self-aware and find out firstly where you are. Are you okay with easy decisions like what do I wear today? Or are you finding them difficult? If you find them difficult, what are you going to do with the difficult decisions in your life? My dear friends, many a times things go wrong because people ignore decisions. They are so scared of the consequences, they don't take a decision, and several lives may be spoiled because of it. I still remember when I had my first baby daughter, in the next room there was, a girl like me, a young girl expecting. She needed to have a cesarean and have that little baby right then. But because the parents, the grandparents or whoever, the family, believed that that was not a good day, they took a decision to not have the surgery. And as a consequence, the little one died. You get the point? If I don't take a decision in the right way, using my intellect and trusting it to show me the right path, I am going to suffer terrible consequences. So remember, easy or difficult, I need to learn when to say these two magical words, yes or no. Like I said, it's tough because, oh God, I have a choice of only two. Well, let me give you the good news, my dear friends. There is a third choice. The third choice is yes, no, or po. So what is po standing for? There are certain times when I can buy time. I don't have to say yes immediately. I don't have to say no immediately. I can take some time to decide, and that's what many people miss. They believe that either they have to say yes or they have to say no, and they forget a beautiful, alternate sometimes called po. But that sometimes can be of great help. Let me give you an example. Suppose I am choosing a career, or suppose I have been invited for a function, and either I say, no, I'm not coming, or I say, okay, yes, I'm going to come, and then I'm like stuck with it. I can just say, thank you so much, I'll think about it. So what does PO stand for? Postpone, prolong, wait. Don't say yes, don't say no, because these are very final words. So the person who is not very good at decisions perhaps can take the help of Po until he or she gets to the level of yes or no. Okay, let's move on. When are the times when you can say yes and when you can say no? First and foremost, a decision becomes valid only when there is something called a choice. If I have a choice, only then I can decide against it or for it. So remember that first. If I don't have a choice, if I realize it's an impossible situation, then I must have the guts to convince myself and simply do it, because then I don't have a choice. But when I do have a choice, which is most of the time, can I exercise my right to decide and decide yes or no? So the first point that I had brought up for all of y'all is easy or difficult. Okay, now let's look at the difficult situations. When I have something difficult to decide, how do I go about it? I can take, if you are skillful at decision making, you will be able to sort out or discriminate your thoughts and quickly decide whether you should say yes or no. But if you need time, be bold enough to ask for it. Say a po and say, please give me a little more time, and remember, keep raising your benchmark. You should be able to quicker and quicker make decisions that are also good and fantastic and are going to help you. Once again, a reminder, all the previous videos that you have watched, right from emotional intelligence and right before that self-awareness, all these and creative thinking are going to help you make the right choice of yes or no. A good decision maker is also a person who realizes that if he has taken a particular decision, it's because at that moment That is the way he perceived a situation. A simple example, a beautiful story, a kind of an anecdote that I would like to share with you. A lady sitting at the airport, looking around, finding that her flight is going to be late, gets up, goes and buys a few cookies. She also buys a few books, and then she settles down with her bag in a chair, picks up a book and begins to read. To her shock, just next to her, there is a youngster sitting who, shockingly, is eating her cookies. You can imagine her shock. And as usual, she begins to think, oh, these youngsters have absolutely no manners. He should have at least asked me. Now, she takes a decision to not ask him. Do you know what she decides to do? She decides to give him another kind of a jolt. So she looks at him angrily, picks up a biscuit from that packet and eats it angrily again. So you can imagine, maybe she doesn't even realize the taste of the cookie. The young man looks at her, gives a smile and continues reading his book. He again picks up a cookie from the bag. She looks at him again angrily, again picks up a cookie. Can you see the decision making here? She is just not, she's going for Po. She's not taking a decision on correcting him. At the end of it, my dear friends, there is only one cookie left in the bag, in the paper bag. The young man looks at her, gives her a sweet smile, picks up his bags, gets up and goes away. The lady looks at him furiously, didn't even have the courtesy to say thank you. She takes the bag, picks up the last cookie, eats it, crumples the bag. So this is a decision she takes. Crumples the bag and throws it in the dustbin there, and then picks up her bags because she can hear her flight also being announced. She opens her bag and oh my God, what does she find? She finds that in her bag, her packet of cookies was intact. Get the point? All the decisions that she took were wrong. And what did she do? At that point, did she decide right? Do you think she gets up and she goes to the youth and says, I'm so sorry. I thought you were eating my cookies and you should have said sorry, but now I realize I should be the one to apologize. Does she do that? Does she take the easy way out and think to herself, he should have told me, isn't it, that I was eating his cookies? It's his fault. Sorry, my dear friends, but many of us get into these mirages, these mires, these whirlpools and sink. Let's build up our decision-making skills and realize that any decision that we took, if it is proved to be wrong, I must have the guts, I must have the courage to face it, apologize, and undo the wrong that I have done. That is also a power that comes with decision making. The power of discrimination, the power that tells me what I should do and what I shouldn't. The power of decision making also gives me the courage to accept what I have done wrong, to correct whatever I had done wrong, and to move on in life without any loads. It makes me light. Remember, none of us are perfect. It's fine to take a wrong decision. Simple example. I walk in the morning on a road, early in the morning when it's still daybreak and it's not yet completely light. I see something on the road just outside my house and I nearly scream, it's a snake. I run away from there and take another path to go wherever I wanted to. That evening when I return, I find that I actually was scared of a rope. Now what do? Do I still take the longer cut? I perhaps look at it and say, oh God, what did I do? I was so foolish in the morning. It looked like a snake. It was actually a rope. Life is about all these silly things that we all do. And it's fine to change my decision, realizing that after all, it was not a snake, it was just a rope. Friends, learn to take good decisions. If you haven't, It is scary in the beginning. Those of you who are not very good decision makers, please go ahead and learn to take good decisions, and you will see life becoming beautiful. Thank you.